Hello and welcome to our channel, Top 10s You Should Know. Today, we're diving into something that can completely reshape your financial future. Top 15 signs you're ready to invest in real estate. You see, real estate is one of the most powerful wealth building tools in the world, but it's not for everyone. So if you've ever wondered whether you're truly ready to buy that first property, rent out a home, or start building your real estate empire, this video is for you. Let's begin. 1. You have a stable income and a strong emergency fund. Before anything else, real estate requires stability, and that starts with your income. You're not ready to invest until your money flow is predictable and secure. A stable income means you can make consistent mortgage payments, handle unexpected repairs, and survive months when things don't go as planned. But even beyond your paycheck, you need an emergency fund, ideally enough to cover at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. This isn't just a nice to have. 2. You've paid off high interest debt. If you're still paying off credit cards, payday loans, or car loans with huge interest rates, real estate will only magnify your problems. Property investments come with hidden costs, taxes, maintenance, loan interest, and months when rent doesn't come in. When high interest debt eats up your income, you'll have no breathing room left. Paying off those debts isn't just a number game. It's a signal that you've developed discipline and patience, two traits that make or break a real estate investor. 3. You understand the market, not the hype. Many people buy property just because everyone else is, and that's exactly how they lose money. But if you've taken the time to study how real estate actually works, that's a huge sign you're ready. You've learned what makes property values rise: infrastructure, schools, job opportunities, and demand, and what makes them fall. You understand that location isn't just a cliche, it's a financial truth. You've learned to analyze data instead of emotions. You can spot overpriced areas, recognize undervalued neighborhoods, and predict trends before they hit mainstream media. 4. You have the patience for long-term growth. Real estate is not a lottery ticket. It's a long, steady climb, the kind that rewards patience and punishes impatience. If you're someone who wants quick profits, real estate will frustrate you. But if you've learned to think long-term, if you can delay gratification and trust the compounding effect of time, you're ready. Real estate wealth isn't built in weeks. It's built over years of ownership, rental income, and appreciation. You'll need patience when the market cools, when tenants delay rent, or when renovations take longer than planned. But with every challenge comes growth. 5. You're comfortable managing risk. Every investment carries risk, and real estate is no different. Markets can crash, tenants can leave, repairs can surprise you. The question isn't whether you'll face risk, it's whether you can handle it. If you've learned to stay calm when things don't go your way, you're ready. Being comfortable with risk doesn't mean being careless. It means being prepared. You've done your research, you've calculated worst-case scenarios, and you have backup plans. Maybe you've invested in other areas before, stocks, side hustles, or small ventures, and learned from them. That resilience builds confidence. 6. You have strong financial discipline. Discipline is what keeps investors afloat when enthusiasm fades. You budget carefully, save consistently, and track your money. You don't spend recklessly or chase every new toy that hits the market. You've learned to say no to instant pleasures for long-term stability. Real estate demands exactly that. There will be months where you'll need to save for property taxes, renovations, or emergencies. And if you're not financially disciplined, you'll fall apart. But when you're consistent, organized, and structured, you'll thrive. 7. You're emotionally ready for responsibility. Real estate isn't just about numbers. It's about people: tenants, agents, contractors, neighbors. And that means responsibility. If you've matured enough to handle commitments without breaking under stress, that's a strong sign you're ready. You'll need to manage repairs, handle tenant complaints, and make decisions that affect others. Emotionally ready investors don't run when things get hard. They adapt. They understand that property ownership requires patience, empathy, and leadership. And most importantly, they don't let fear or greed control their decisions. 8. You've researched financing options thoroughly. Money is the engine of real estate, and if you understand how financing works, you're ahead of 80% of beginners. You know your credit score, your loan eligibility, and the difference between fixed and variable rates. You've explored creative financing, like partnerships, FHA loans, or house hacking. You've learned how leverage can multiply wealth, but also how it can destroy it if misused. When you know what kind of loan suits your situation and how to protect yourself from over-leveraging, you're walking in prepared. Financing knowledge turns real estate from a gamble into a strategy. 9. You've started building a network. Real estate isn't a solo sport. You need people, mentors, agents, contractors, and investors who can guide you. If you've already begun surrounding yourself with the right network, you're miles ahead. Your connections can help you spot good deals, avoid scams, and learn from their mistakes. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know the right people. A strong network turns information into opportunity. When you start attending meetups, following real estate podcasts, or joining investor groups, you're stepping into the ecosystem. 10. You've practiced delayed gratification. This one's subtle but powerful. If you've trained yourself to wait, to not rush into buying things just for instant satisfaction, then you're mentally ready for property investing. Real estate doesn't give quick dopamine hits. It gives long-term rewards, equity, stability, and cash flow, but only to those who can wait. Delayed gratification means you can walk past luxury today to afford freedom tomorrow. It means you can resist buying that flashy car because you'd rather own a property that pays you every month. This trait separates investors from spenders. When you've built this mindset, you've already developed the patience and vision required to thrive in real estate. 11. You've saved for a down payment. If you've managed to save enough for a realistic down payment, that's one of the strongest indicators you're financially ready. It shows not just your earning capacity, but your commitment. You've proven that you can set a goal and see it through. A down payment isn't just a lump of cash. It's the first brick in your financial foundation. It represents sacrifice, discipline, and intention. When you've built that fund, you're not thinking about real estate anymore. You're ready to take action. 12. You're ready to learn constantly. Real estate is never static. Markets evolve, laws change, and trends shift. If you've embraced the habit of continuous learning, reading, watching, and analyzing, you're mentally prepared. The best investors never stop studying. You know that every deal, every tenant, and every renovation is a classroom. Being teachable means you'll adapt faster than others. If you're curious instead of cocky, humble instead of hasty, you're ready to win. 13. You think in terms of assets, not income. If you've started thinking like a wealth builder instead of a paycheck earner, that's a major shift. You no longer ask, how much can I make? You ask, what can I own that makes money for me? That's the investor's mindset. When you start prioritizing ownership over consumption, your financial life transforms. You're not chasing income, you're chasing freedom. Real estate becomes your tool to create that steady cash flow, appreciation, and security. 14. You're thinking about long-term security. You're ready for real estate when your goals go beyond just making money. You want stability for your family, your future, and your legacy. You're thinking about assets that will outlive your career, that will protect you during inflation or retirement. When your motivation moves from greed to security, you invest differently, smarter, calmer, wiser. Real estate becomes less about profit and more about peace of mind. 15. You're done making excuses. The final and most powerful sign, you've stopped waiting for the perfect time. You've stopped saying, I'll invest when I make more money, or I'll start when the market's better. You've realized that there is no perfect time, only preparation and action. Once you've educated yourself, built your safety net, and done your research, the only thing left is to take that first step. Readiness isn't about having every answer. It's about trusting yourself to learn along the way. So, those were the top 15 signs you're ready to invest in real estate. Tell me, which of these signs do you already see in yourself? Do you feel prepared, or are you still building your foundation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because your opinion matters. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Top 10s You Should Know, where we bring wisdom that builds your wealth, one idea at a time.